Girl, look, Brent and Judy went down there to the ultrasound people, and it's just like at this point, who gonna carry the baby? Y'all ready to talk about it? Get the music! Oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back.
I drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate or fuck discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video. We're here to discuss Brat Loves Judy season 2 episode I forgot. And we still gonna say the name of this episode is still Who Gonna Carry the Baby. Let's get right into the episode. The episode opens up. Brat and Bella is in the gym playing basketball. And for the life of me, I still want to know what the hell happened to the car and the house. How's y'all going about y'all lives like this shit didn't happen? Brat, ain't no way she gonna be at my house playing no goddamn basketball till she tell me what the hell happened. Now, did something happen and you just don't want to repeat it, Brat? Because if that was the case, y'all shouldn't even put it on the show. You should have cut that out, edit it out. Anyway, so Judy's basically talking about her because she's talking to her saying that she's trying to be more active because she's on the weight loss journey because she might could carry the baby. We still don't know who's gonna carry this goddamn baby. But Bella says basically you could do it. You just gotta be consistent because Bella says she lost like 50 pounds. She just had to be consistent. Go ahead on, girl. But Brat starts talking about her listening party. It's in about a week or two because you know they do everything in 2-week time periods. So Brat basically says she's only trying to do something really small and intimate. She wants to invite maybe 50 people tops, but she ain't trying to do all that. Ain't that type of party. Ain't nothing big. And I'm like, girl, Judy is your wife. Everything she do is big. Okay, I get it. But then Bella asks about how her conversation with Judy, telling Judy that she had the fibroids. And so she said she told her, you know, and Judy felt some type of way about her going by herself, as she should. And she says Judy is like the type of person that uplifts her. So she basically told her we're going to go do another session with another doctor, get another opinion. And she loves that about her baby because her baby going to make sure she's going to be okay. And she says she's not going to let her baby down because she don't want to let her baby down. She's nervous about this second opinion. I mean, he can't tell you nothing worse than what the first one said. My theory, I don't know, maybe it's a little insensitive, but I guess. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Judy is over there opening up birthday gifts. Can I mention they had birthday gifts, wedding gifts, and it was another gift. They got 3 sets of gifts they ain't even opened. That's what's up. I want somebody to send me some gifts like that. But the mama called her and said she want to talk to her about Deja. Here we go with 38-year-old Deja. Okay. The mama calls and says basically she would like Judy to sit down and talk to Deja. Take the chance to hear her out because she feels unheard. And yeah, have a conversation with her and see how she feels. She wants to really, you know, talk to you and tell you how she feels. But she just got to feel like you understand and you hear her. So Judy feels some type of way. Judy feels like, you know, she put her career before her kids. And at the time she thought she was doing what was right. She said, but, you know, maybe that wasn't the best thing. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. She asked her mama, did she get some professional help and have somebody sit down there? And the mama said, no, just talk to your baby. So they're going to have a talk. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Brat is out shopping and she nervous about it. All to get down there and try on some goddamn sunglasses. Brat, stop playing in our face. Anyway, Brat gets down there shopping looking for her stuff for her video shoot and her, you know, she's trying to shoot all the videos while she do the whatever. She's just trying to do it, wrap it all up in one. And then Bella arrives and we still don't know what happened to the truck. But anyway, so Bella arrives and Brat says she's performing at a party. That's what she said, that she wants 5 changes for her photo shoot because she's going to do it all at the party. Bam. That's what she's going to do. They end up trying on $800 shades, but Brat says she works hard, she deserves it. You nervous about trying on them damn Fendi shades? I thought you said we was going to see a different side of you, Brat. We wanted to see what you like, a whole lot. Sorry. That's what we want to see. We want to see that Brat. Get out the tennis shoe space and get down there to the Fashion Nova. We want to see Fashion Nova Brat. We don't want to see what's the other Funkify Brat. We want Fashion Nova Brat. You fine, Brat. Let us see acting crazy. Anyway, Bella asked her how she feel about the album because Bella knows that Brat gets nervous about everything. But Brat was like, I'm battling with the producer because every time I get something finished, I want to add something to it. I don't want to just leave nothing out. I feel like nothing is ready or what, nothing is where I want it to be, and this, that, and the third. And Bella was like, you nervous? She goes, well, I'm not really nervous, but later on ends up admitting that she is nervous. And it makes sense because, like she said, creating music or creating is like your baby. Like, so you want it to be perfect. Like, everybody wants their baby to be perfect. But she said she's been working on it and she's got to deal with a lot of stuff with that. Brat's ultimately super nervous because this is an independent project. Like Brat said, heifer, this coming out of my pocket. This coming out of my wallet, Judy. So we got to get this right. It's different when the label's footing the bill. But when it's coming out of my pocket, it ain't different. You know what I'm saying? And I hear you, Brat. But she said her baby pushing her, and her baby said, girl, do what you want to do. If you want to feel like you can do this at this time, do it. Basically, Judy pushes her. And she said her baby going to make sure that she do what she need to do. They get in the confessional, and Judy said she take risks. And that's why she's a millionaire, and I'm not. And she basically says that she's going to push her girl. And if she fail, oh well, let's do it again. And then do it again, and then do it again. I got to adopt that doggone attitude. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Judy is struggling with the dogs, as she always is. And she's trying to open the gifts from the other people. Now, this is the wedding gifts, I think. This is the wedding gift she opened. So she's over there doing that. And then Judy tells Brat she want to have a conversation with him. And she talks to Brat and tells Brat about Deja at this wedding and acting funny. And how she didn't come to the birthday party. Judy's whole thing is her goal was to make sure her family was good. She said if she wasn't present and she wonders if her kids feel some type of way about it. She said because if they do, they never said anything. What Deja about to tell you, Faith? Don't worry about it. She gonna speak for everybody. Maybe. I don't know. But then she feels bad that Deja feels some type of ways. She said because she's been working for her daughter and for her kids her whole entire life. She said she could remember working for them. For her to go to all these things and do all these things, and it's kind of like a slap in the face, but yet a reality check at the same time. You can't lose. You can't win on either way. How they say a double-edged sword? That's what that type of situation is. Because you can be a present mother and suffer in poverty, and then in turn take that out on your kids, because that's typically what happens in poverty, with people who are in poverty or below the poverty line, or at least meeting the poverty line. Or you can get out there and do something better to create generational wealth for your kids, and then you get this. There's no wrong way. There's no right or wrong. It's just like whatever path you choose, there's a negative on either side. So I understand Judy feeling like that, but I mean, this is the time to get that time back. But see, you're newlywed now. Y'all trying to have another baby. It's going to cause a strain on the relationship between you and your daughter. Although she's an adult, it's still going to cause a strain on you and your daughter. That's just my opinion. But Judy feels like Deja is privileged. She said, your children is spoiled. She got in her confessional and said, I wasn't around back then, so I can't say, but I seen pictures. Them children was spoiled. I believe it. I believe the money was present. But the thing is, what we got to understand is the mama needed to be present. It wasn't even about the money. I mean, it was cool when she was getting it. But when you look back in hindsight, it's about the money. But anyway, the mama, I'm sorry. But anyway, Brat basically tells her she should talk to her. And basically don't schedule nothing, don't pick up no phone, no nothing. Just talk to your child. She needs to feel like you are there and you are listening and you are all ears and you 100% want to be there. So Judy's going to take her advice. She was like, I'm going to take your advice and I'm going to go talk to this girl and I'm going to put everything down and put all my feelings and everything and open my ears and close my mouth in certain instances so I can hear my child. Well, girl, they opened the bottle of Moet, and we all know Brat is an alcoholic. Brat grabbed that damn Moet and got the hell up out of there. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Brat walk into band practice. Okay, so now she's practicing for her listening party because apparently she's gonna have a live band. I love the concept. I'm here for it. Even the music they were playing. What was it called? TikTok? It was nice. It was cute. I liked it, Brat. We need to hear the album. But she's still nervous about going independent. But she loves the fact that she could do whatever she wants. Double-edged sword, right? Not really double-edged sword, but that's more or less like a, what's the catch-22 maybe? I don't know. I'm just trying to find shit to say, girl. But, yeah, she loves the fact that she has the freedom to do whatever it is she wants to do. But Brat asked her, why don't you do it? Well, Brat asked Judy, about doing the listening party at this place. Judy's response is, that's fine, and I'm all here for it, but you say you invited 50 people, but knowing you, more than 50 people going to show up, and more people going to want to come. So you don't think you should have a bigger venue? This puts Brat into another nervous situation because she was just like, listen, I would love to, but, you know, I got a lot on my plate. Like, she got a lot going on. Judy, on the flip side, thinks Brat's just nervous. And Brat's on the other side saying, girl, I'm just trying to save some money. I ain't trying to be doing all that. I'm trying to have a small venue, small people. We don't need all this stuff coming around here. Judy's trying to basically tell her, you got to just do it. Nike the shit, babe. Just get out there and do it. And don't worry about it. I got the money fat. If it don't work out this time, we'll just do it again. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. That's what Judy was trying to tell Brat, girl. Anyway, Judy lets her know that she's going to check on other spaces. And Bella basically says that she's nervous. Bella, we still don't know what happened to the house in the car. We don't want to hear from you. And Brat gets in her confessional and she's got the vigor and the power. She said, you know what, they right. Why not now? Yeah, Brat, why not now? Go ahead on and do your thing. Let's move on. We move to the next thing. Brat is talking to her trainer about goals because she over there working out. And girl, Brat had them worked out all heavy and hot. At least she looked like it in that damn hoodie. And that lady said, good. You done just burnt off 4 chips. Basically, the trainer is trying to tell her it's more or less about your diet than your workout. If you eating chips coming in here, you can spend an hour and only burn out a couple hundred calories, depending on what you do. So she's trying to teach to her importance of diet. That makes sense. You know, my weight fluctuates like a mug, so I understand. It took me a long time to figure out it was the diet, not the workout. Girl, let me tell you, one time I was working out, I swear to God, I worked out for like 8 months straight. And when I tell you I ain't gained or lost no weight, and that's because I was eating worse than I was working out. Don't get me wrong, I was happy I didn't gain no weight, but it still was a big middle finger to get on that scale, and you back where you started again. Girl, please. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Judy and Deja goes have a conversation over pottery. So Judy's theory is, I want to take my baby down there to do pottery because I used to take her and her brothers down there to do that type of stuff all the time. In Judy's mind, that was her way to spend time with her kids because she knew she wasn't there. So, and it'd be so crazy because you think you're making strides and you're doing something that your kids are going to appreciate and remember the way you wanted them to remember, but that's not always how it works. So she's asking Deja, she's like, you remember we used to do this back in the day? Deja was like, yeah, I remember you used to take us down here to do pottery or whatever. Judy's whole thing is she wants to do this also because her daddy used to do that with her and her brothers. Like, he would always bring them somewhere, you know, have daddy and kids time. So she wants to pass that pastime on. Judy starts off the conversation by telling Deja that Brat may not be able to carry because of her fibroids. And so Deja was like, y'all gonna get it together. And they will. They're gonna get it together because ultimately, Judy, you got the womb too. It's 2 wombs over there. Y'all gonna be able to make it happen. You just don't want to carry the baby neither. But she brings up, I'm sorry that, so Judy then goes on to say, I missed you at my birthday party. Like, what happened? Like, why didn't you come to my birthday party? And basically, Deja's whole theory or thing is, I didn't want to talk at your party. It was the time where all your events was happening. I didn't want to bring that negative energy over there. Deja goes on to say, it was your day. I really didn't want to deal with that, you know, around your time when you're enjoying yourself. And then she goes on to say, you feel like I have no concept of the real world. Well, Deja, you don't. You don't. Because if you did, you'd be independent. At least living in your own place. Why is you living with the grandma? You don't have no concept of it. Not yet. You will. You will, but you don't, not yet. So she says, you know, she feels like her mama feels that way. And she says she raised her brothers. Like, she was the one who raised her brothers. When you was out gallivanting, not gallivanting, because Judy was working. But whenever you was doing whatever you was doing, Deja said she was down there raising them kids. She's got a point. You know, Deja get on my nerves, but I'm going to call her right, and I'm going to call her fair, and a spade going to be a spade, and a heart going to be a heart. In this situation, Judy was dealt a spade. And the reason being is because the decisions as parents we make today that we think are going to be great for our kids may or may not be great, even if it's done with the best intent. That's just the way the world works. And I feel like we typically don't know what's going to grow after we plant the seed until we see the flower. Does that make sense? So I can plant a seed, but I won't see the products or the ending results, until that flower grows. And I feel like Judy planted a seed of making sure that her family was financially stable. She's from New Orleans. 90% of the black people in New Orleans, especially back in our day, was broke. And still is today. They broke. Under the poverty line. Okay? So I understand her drive to want to be successful for her children. But there's always sacrifices. I have a talk with my friend about that all the time. She travels a lot with work. And I told her, I said, you're doing this for your family, and sometimes you're doing it to your family. So it's not that she's wrong for working. She's got to work. You know what I mean? It's not that Judy was wrong for working. She had to work. She wanted a different life for her kids. However, this is the result. You ain't got to worry about where she's going to lay her head, but that was one of the traumas and the torn feelings that your daughter had about you being absent. And that sucks. It really sucks. Oh, it sucks. I hope my baby don't ever tell me that one day. But if she does, I'll have to be open and willing to hear it. It's gonna hurt, but it is what it is. So basically, that's Deja's stance. She said she feels like nobody cares. Judy gets in her confession and said, look, I'm trying to listen to this girl, but I feel like it was super offensive. I bought her everything she wanted. You know, she said she wanted to go to Catholic school. I paid for that, and that was expensive back then. She ain't lying. Let me tell you something. In New Orleans, they got 2 all-girl Catholic schools. Xavier Prep, my older sister went to that one, and St. Mary's, and that's the... So Xavier Prep is like... I'm not even going to explain them, but that's the 2. Xavier Prep and St. Mary's. If you went to one of them schools, your people had a couple of dollars. Because the rest of the majority of the children, the black kids in New Orleans, went to public school. Period. And public school was like going to prison. So Judy feels like that was one of the things I was able to afford you. You went to St. Mary's from 6th grade, because I think back then it was 6th or 7th grade. But from 6th grade all the way up to high school, I paid for this, I paid for that. But it's not always about the money. So Judy, don't be offended. And I see why you would as an adult. But then as a outside person looking in, you can't be offended, because ultimately, yes, when people are receiving things, nobody ever complains. But when people are able to step back from it and look at it and assess it, that's when they start really, figuring it out. And although she's still grateful, I don't think that girl is ungrateful. However, I feel like this is the lasting effect of you not being there, but still being able to pay for stuff. I don't think you should get offended, Judy. But I do love that Judy took her time and listened, and she didn't interrupt her. She really was present in the conversation. So shout out to Judy for that. But Deja goes on to say, Deja goes on and then mention that she feels like with this new baby, she don't know where her and Kenzie, her baby, is going to fit in their life. And I say, oh, that's what it is. It's the child jealousy. That's what it is. I'm not saying what she said wasn't valid. It's true. I know it probably is true. I wasn't there, but if she said it's true, I'm validate that. Whatever she said, I'm validating it. However, I feel like this is a little bit above. If it's not even above, it's like right here with the childhood absence, the parent absence. It's it's teeter-totter, And I feel like that's what this is all about. And Judy's like, what do you mean fit into my life? Because you got to remember, Judy is an adult. Her child is an adult who has a child of her own. Judy is a newlywed. And my question to you, Deja, is how do you think you should fit in their lives? Because like Judy said, what you mean? You ain't going to never stop being my child. You're going to always be around me. What are you asking? It comes off as sibling jealousy. That's what it comes off as. It just does. And we've all done it. It's innocent. It's not even that it's something bad, but I think the part that I struggle with, no, I ain't even going to say that. Because as a person with a degree in psychology, I know that feelings don't have no age or no time on it. So let me retract that, what I was about to say. Nevertheless, I'll say this. Deja, you got to get yourself together, girl. You have to. Because what you're going to realize is ain't nobody in this world promised to you. Not your mama, not your sister, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife. Nobody ain't promised to you. Nobody. I think that's what Judy knows, and that's why Judy wants to get you up on your feet and stand on your own too. I really believe that's what it is. I think she probably has a fear that that won't happen for you. And that's why she pushes you the way she do. I could be wrong, but that's just what I feel. And it's something that I'll tell everybody, the real world gonna bat the piss out you, fat. The real world gonna bat the piss out you. And typically when the real world bat the piss out you, it's hard to get back up. I mean, I don't know. I'm just telling you the God honest truth. But basically, Deja feels like her mama gets tunnel vision. And Judy tells her and tries to assure her that she just wants her to be happy, girl. I'm not trying to run your life and tell you what to do. I just want you to be happy. Just be happy. And Deja's still harping on the fact that she's still busy. And that's something Judy does need to work on. But Deja, you don't even hardly live there. But then again, if you get there and you don't live there and she's still super busy, then that's bad. But Judy's starting to see that Deja has a point. She is too busy. Don't work yourself to death. You know? And so I tell people this story all the time. My sister was like that. My sister was a checks and balances type person. I'm talking about 770, 780 credit score at 22 years old. She passed at 23. So 23 years old. My sister had a calendar up on her wall. Pay student loan. Do this, do that. She had her whole life mapped out for at least the next calendar year. She worked. She busted her ass. She saved. And she didn't get to reap none of them benefits. The moral to the story is time is always going to be more precious than money. I know we need it. I know everybody want to be successful and live comfortably and live over comfortably, whatever it is. But time going to always be more expensive than money. Because at least money, you lose it, you might could get it back. But time, once it's gone, it's gone. That's just my message to you, Judy. Let's move on. We move to the last scene. Judy and Brat go see the doctor. That's the scene behind me, girl. Judy's trying to tell Brat to be positive, Brat, tat, tat, tat. This is second opinion, girl. We gonna get these people to, tell us what the hell going on with these fibroids. And, not Judy. Brat is nervous. And I would be too. In a way. Yeah, I would be nervous. I'm going to take that back, Brad. I say you shouldn't be nervous. I would have been nervous too. Because, hell, you going to get a second opinion. Shit, they might tell you something worse than what you heard the first time. Not only that, you want to carry. You know what I mean? So I understand it and I get it. Well, Judy just wants her to have good thoughts. So the lady comes in, the doctor, I'm sorry. Listen, let me just say this. Shout out to the black doctor that did their ultrasounds. Shout out to her. And, last night when I was watching this, I was like, man, they should have went to Dr. Jackie. And honestly, I feel like Dr. Jackie is one of the best from what I've seen on TV. Best black female doctors out in this area. However, it just dawned on me. Why not give another black woman shine? We see Dr. Jackie on and Simone Child on every reality show. Every woman who got a problem with their body, go see either Simone or Jackie. I'm here for it. So let me retract my thought of why didn't you go to Dr. Jackie. Shout out to this sister here, who's a doctor. Salute to you. And I love that. Well, I know I love that because we need more of that. Shining our lights on our sisters. But anyway, she goes in there to explain to them about the ultrasound. She wants to do a transvaginal ultrasound, meaning they just stick the thing up your cooter. But, Judy was like, why you gotta do all that? You can't just do the one on top. And she was like, yeah, we can do the one on top. So she left them to go get undressed. Judy's up first. Judy's looking good. Eggs is good and ready to go. Girl, we could plant you up right now. What's up? That's what the doctor was saying, girl. You straight. So now she gets down and leaves out so Brat can go up. Brat getting hella nervous. Brat is like super, super nervous. So then Brat was just like, what if she say I can't carry? What if she say I can't carry? Judy's trying to offer her positive thoughts. And then Judy did something that was so protecting of her wife. She kicked everybody out. The cameras out and everybody said, yo, and not even just the cameras, herself. And left Brat in there to but to have the conversation with the doctor alone. That was so mature and intelligent of you, Judy. I was thinking this too. I was like, women understand women, right? And in that sense, that's something that most men wouldn't think. Like, women think like other women. So, we can be very empathetic to other women, rather it's in a romantic relationship, a friendship, a work relationship, because we know whatever you going through or you have gone through or are going through, either I've done it or I've gone through it or I'm gonna go through it. So we have this thing, right, to where we can completely empathize, not sympathize, but empathize with other women. And I love the fact that Judy was able to read the room while reading her wife. We're gonna step out and let my wife have her privacy. And we not filming this. And it makes sense because hell, she ain't filmed the first one. So shout out to you, Judy. I think, you know, and I'm about to be funny right now, but I think lesbian relationships should be the most successful, but sometimes, somehow you have to be tearing each other face off and fighting and cussing and carrying on and getting back together because y'all just moved in 2 weeks after y'all met. We too emotional, girl. Women are too emotional. Anyway, so the doctor does her ultrasound. She's going to do the transvaginal one, which is great because if you had the previous diagnosis, it makes more sense. The lady said she found 2 fibroids, and her egg quality and quantity has diminished. And she says you may not get a lot of eggs. Now, if I'm going to think like Judy, that's not a no. That's just like, you have a better chance of success if Judy carried versus you. That's basically what I heard. But it's not you shouldn't carry or you can't carry. Women have babies and get pregnant with fibroids all the time. But I'll say this too. Black women have the #1 death rate during maternity. During giving birth. That shit ain't nothing to play with. That's why we the strongest, because we be having them bitches back to back. Girl, black women be having 12, 13 children running around here. Ain't no fear fact. We gotta get these children up out of here. Anyway, girl, I understand Brat's concern. I think the best person to carry is Judy. Judy just gonna have to go sit down somewhere and carry this baby. That's the end of the episode. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this week of Brat Tat 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 Loves Judy. Who gonna carry the baby? That's what they should have named the whole scene. Who gonna carry the baby? The whole doggone, not the scene, the whole doggone season should have been called Who Gonna Carry the Baby? Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on TikTok, girl, and I will see you hoes later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.